youth for Chattanooga, and nobody has took a stance for it, you know.
Come
And
on
so
now.
basically,
How about you stand
I'm
right
not gonna
there
do a
and
lot of
record?
talking. I'm just gonna dedicate this song
Yeah, stand right
to
there.
the Martin family, and we just gotta do a bit better as a whole, you know. So I'm gonna let T start it off, and then I'm gonna go ahead and y'all just listen with your hearts. This is a city. This is a city. City without tears. City without tears. This is a city. This is a city. City without tears. City without tears. Say this is a city. Come here, everybody. Come on. This is a city. City without tears. City without tears. This is a city. Hey. This is a city. City without tears. City without tears. Yeah. Cat Town, yeah, I love my city, man. A lot of things for my city I don't understand. At times I be wanting to leave, I can't stand it here. Instead of complaining, let's see how I can be a help. It's like all people ever think about itself. So heartless, like love, they ain't never felt. Every time I turn on the tube, it's bad news. Another homicide case at the Cancun's. They making money, they don't care if the Cancun's. They just watch us kill each other like some crazy fools. Now man, like man, where the leaders at? It's a church on every corner, where the preachers at? The council, where the teachers at? At home shaking their head, talking, just watching it. How many must die till we make a stand? It's only more we gon' lose until we have a plan. The Lord telling me it's more things I can do. It's sad how you only move until it's hurting you. Then you wanna come together, now it's serious. I hope the old and the young folks hearing this. Look at the selfishness, the ignorance inherited. We gotta do better, point blank period. We at the end like the orange on a cigarette. But the last should be first, like Genesis. I know I did a lot of wrong, I ain't innocent. But pray for me, your persecution irrelevant. Lord help my city so we can come together and keep us strong when they tell us it'll happen never. Let our faith be in you and not each other. Even when they say we can't, with you we can. Give the boys examples of how to be a man. And to the ones who men to be greater than. And let the women teach the girls how to be their best. And strive for that and settle for nothing less. A lot of things from this verse, yeah, I want to come. Not my way, have your way, let your will be done. God bless, I appreciate y'all, man. We gotta do better as a whole, y'all. We can do it.
Hey, I want to thank everybody for coming out, but I definitely want the members of the COA to come out. It's a grassroots. Come on, man, please. These people, I mean, no, it's about them because they doing this. A lot of politicians that's not out here, y'all see, but we got some grassroots people who out here. They do this every day, man. I have, a chance to go to a couple of their meetings, and they are real. No matter what color, what background. Hey man, y'all come on there. What Chris Brooks? Please come on. Come on, man. Y'all got to know these folks. Come on, man.
Y'all give it up for all the grassroots people that come out here. Alright, y'all give it up again for Big Mike and T-Ray. Alright. The next person I want to bring down is one of the other reasons that I thought it was important for us to organize this. So I want you to raise your hand if you got a son, a cousin, a nephew, a brother that looks like Trayvon Martin. Look around. I heard 3 of them. Look around. Alright. Well, I've got a little brother who ain't so little anymore. Who is one of the reasons why I felt so angry about what happened to Trayvon. And I was talking to him, I was like, yo man, I'm mad, I don't know what to do. I think I'm gonna put up this Facebook event. My brother's always supportive. He's like, let God use you. If you feel like that's an idea you want to do, you go with it, girl. And we had a conversation about all the stuff that he's been through as a black man who wears hoodies in the city of Chattanooga. So I'm gonna turn it over to my baby brother, y'all. This is Portland Hoodie.
Try not to take too long. No. First thing I want to say is I am Trayvon Martin. Okay. I am Trayvon Martin. Okay. You, even him, all of us are Trayvon Martin and have been Trayvon Martin at one point in time. I understand this is a 17-year-old child. He was not a man, he was not grown. Why didn't he have hair on his face? The man who shot him was a grown man. He was not a police officer. He was not a security guard. He was just a man in his neighborhood scared for his life. Obviously. Now I look around, I see a few grown men. I'm a grown man myself. And have been for a very long time. But I look around and see a few grown men and I'm just confused as what makes a grown man that scared of this. To have to shoot a child with Skittles and iced tea in his hand, you know what I'm saying? Who does that? Are you that much of a coward? Are you that scared? Are you that weak that you gotta kill a child? That's one thing I don't understand. Another thing I don't understand is the Sanford County Police Department. I mean, yeah, it's wrong he shot this man. Yeah, it's wrong. But what's worse is the same people that are supposed to be protecting this child.
Right.
The same person that's supposed to bring justice, not us.
Right.
We're not supposed to be out here, although we are. They supposed to be down there finding this man who killed this child. And they the same people that are protecting this man. They hide this man.
Right.
They conspire with this man to protect him from justice. Nobody protected me from justice. Nobody protected all my friends that lost their life in there. Of justice, you know what I'm saying? But a man who kills a child out of fear, a child, gets away. I don't understand that. Now, this man, I mean, you know, everybody out here, I'm sure, has mother and father. Everybody. I got a father. Whatever kind of father he is, I know how he would feel if his 17-year-old child was shot dead in a gated neighborhood. Now give or take, I'm sure everybody out here work hard every day to feed their children, to give a better life for their children. And this kid, this not no Chattanooga City street child. This is a child that was in a gated neighborhood playing football all his life. There's no telling what sacrifice his parents had to make to put his child in this situation. And he works this hard. His parents worked this hard to lose their child to this and not even receive justice for it. Who pays these people? We do. And y'all can't come get the man that shot this child? Now, I'd never be a person, because I believe in God, I'd never be a person to just tell somebody, hey, shoot him. But we do have a Second Amendment right. That is to bear arms. I'm not telling anybody to kill anybody. Protect yourselves. Protect these babies. He's gonna be 17 years old one day. She's gonna be 17 years old one day. Educate your children on how to protect themselves. Educate your children. Educate the children and their friends to stay together. You know, everybody can't have a Trayvon Martin, but you might have a Portland Henderson. Tell them to stay together. If they gonna be in the streets, if they going to the clubs, or if they walking anywhere, even if they walking in your own neighborhood that they live in every day, tell them to stay together. Trayvon was on the phone with his girlfriend. She halfway heard it all. If Trayvon would have had a few homeboys with him, I'm sure this would not have happened.
Right.
Or he would have had to kill them all.
Exactly.
Not to say Sanford County Police want to let them all die in vain.
Hello.
But, you know, tell your kids to stay together and tell them to protect themselves and protect the children. Stand up. Stand up.
Yay.
Y'all get up for my baby brother. So, over the last few days that we've had that Facebook event, I've gotten so many messages from you all out in the crowd. And many of them were full of stories about family members, classmates, friends of yours that have been unjustly murdered, taken away from our community without any justice happening. Raise your hand if you were one of those people that has told me one of them stories, or just that has experienced that. You got family, you got friends, you got classmates who have been taken from us without any justice in their cases. Raise your hand high. Look around. Look at these hands, y'all. Look at these hands, right? So while we fighting for Trayvon, right? We love Trayvon. We love Martin's family. We stand in solidarity with them. We think Zimmerman needs to go to jail, right? We think that stand your ground law needs to go, right? We think it needs to go in Florida. We think it needs to go here in Tennessee, right? But there's stuff happening right here in chat, right? So I want to bring up a dear friend of mine who my parents worked with on one of those cases, the Wadey Settles case. Put your hand in there if you've heard of the Wadey Settles case. So the person I'm bringing to the mic right now is Maxine Cousin. She's the daughter of Wadey Settles, who was murdered by the Chattanooga Police Department in 1983. She's been fighting for justice since 1983. That was before I was even born, y'all. Like, that is significant. This morning, several of us went to court with her to try to get some justice in her father's case, and are still getting the runaround. So I want to bring Miss Maxine up. I want her to tell her story and talk about what we're doing these days. Give it up for Maxine Cousin.
Thank you, and I really am so proud of seeing everybody here today. It's been a long time, like the song says, a long, long time coming. And for every atrocity that you can think of that's happened in Florida or any other state in this union, we have documentation that it has happened here. We had a man that was shot 43 times here. And you talk about Abdul Duwalo, he was shot 19 times with 41 bullets. We got somebody that was shot 43 times. And that's not even, we're not even sure that's in math because some bullets went in 2 or 3 different times. So we got other people that were shot numerous times. We got some real cold cops in this city. And we got some cold people, but you know what? Sometimes some things happen, like what happened to Trayvon Martin, that bring people together, that opens your eyes and make you see, you know, that we can't be in it by ourselves. Because if it happened to him, it could happen to you. Not just that. This little child that he pointed out that's going to be 17 one day, well, he might not get to be 17. Because in this country, the police department has mistakenly killed people from the ages of 5 to 92. 5 years old to 92. Now, what can a 5-year-old child do? You know what I mean? So, I'm going to just read a statement and I'm going to sit down because I get too fired up. Okay, our criminal and civil justice system is broken. There's a lot of disparity in the law enforcement system that causes us to realize that we have a stake in whether or not Trayvon Martin's family receives justice in this case. It makes us ask questions of our government, not seeing us as human beings. Why is the law enforcement system that we're all supposed to be so proud of continue to fail us? This country, a country that has a constitution, supposedly a country of laws, and is bragged about all over the world as the envy of the world just because it is supposed to be a country of laws. So the Trayvon Martin case shows us that the laws don't work for all of us. It doesn't work, for example, if you're wearing a hoodie and look suspicious, and anybody who worries about a person wearing a hoodie. Well, it's not against the law to wear a hoodie. It's not against the law to wear a hoodie, and if it was against the law, you ought to ban hoodies. You ought to keep people from making money off of hoodies. Okay? Okay, it says, and then you make it against the law to make it, and you make it against the law to sell it. So when people ask you why poor people and black people and other people of color are so upset about this, it's because there was no investigation. One of the tenets of racism in this country, white people who are part of the system are given the authority to represent the system, are given the benefit of being believed. Okay, it's a simple thing. They believe them. They don't believe us. And they will make sure that their word is bond. Okay, so no, have you ever been in a situation where you watch your children walk out the door, and you know everything you love walk out the door, and you don't know whether they're coming back? Okay, that's where we are now. You know, I had to go through that. You know, and one of these days, some of you, I'm sure some of you already had to go through it. Okay? And we become defenseless when the laws don't see us as equal. They can kill our kids and kill our parents. Trayvon Martin is not the first person to be killed in this way. But let's hope that we can create the kind of changes in our government so that he will be the last person who's killed. And it makes me upset when some people say, let the system work. And that's the problem, because the system doesn't work for us. And it never have. And you're fooling yourself if you think it has.
Right.
So we're left wondering, how did we get here? We got here because we're a house divided. We have been from the beginning. We got here because black people and other people of color have never been considered full citizens of this country, and that's not an argument. Everything about our history tells us that's true. We got here because we didn't do justice for Emmett Till. We got here because 4 little girls in a Birmingham jail were bombed.
Exactly.
And they finally got an 84-year-old man. After he lived his whole life, when his life was over, he had 1 foot in the grave and 1 on a banana peel. They put him in jail. He didn't lose a thing. He just had a place to rest for the last few days of his life. Okay, he had lived his life. We got here because the killer of Medgar Evers got a free pass to come and go from Signal Mountain. Okay, he had lived his life. We got here because we like to say we got justice for Goodman, Schraner, and Cheney, but we didn't. Those people got 2 to 10 years. And they went back to that same community and lived the life they had lived before. They didn't pay a thing. They didn't pay one thing. So don't tell me this is new. Don't tell me anything is different. Okay? And we got here because we didn't do justice for my father. His only crime was being a suspicious black man in the car, being sick, old, weak, and tired. He didn't deserve to die because he was sick. None of us do. In fact, people who killed him should have been the first people who helped him. We got here because justice wasn't done for Wade Suttles. So I'm not surprised at the disrespect and the non-personhood that Trayvon Martin and his family experienced, and my family experienced the same thing. And I know there are differences in the Wade Suttles case and the Trayvon Martin case. Trayvon Martin was 17 years old. He had his whole life to live for. You know, he had a whole lot of learning to do. No matter what, you want to paint him as a bad kid, all kids bad, because we got to teach him. You know what I mean? But my father was 66, and he had lived a very hard life. You know, generations separated them, but now they're together in eternity. And when my father was born, he couldn't vote, couldn't drink at the white water fountain, couldn't sit at the lunch counter, had to go to the back door of a restaurant to buy a cup of coffee or a sandwich. Yet he was expected and allowed to fight in Hitler's racist war in Italy. He fought for people who could gain, so that they could gain their human rights. And all the while he was denying his rights here at home. I wish I could have told Daddy, what you fighting for? I wish I could have been there to tell him to stay home.
It's all right. It's all right.
You know, we all had hope then, because we had a movement. We know we had a movement. We had people who were giving us hope and giving us faith and love, so that we know that one day it was going to be better for this little boy right here. But it's not, is it? Do you see the difference? I don't. My father fought in Italy, and then he came home. My brother fought in Vietnam to protect the United States government's interest in Southeast Asia. My dad and my brother paid their dues. When is our government going to protect their interest? You know, I used to be naive. I used to think that the laws, if the law said you can't do something, then you couldn't do it. And if you did something illegal, there were legal ramifications for it. I was wrong. Our people are being killed in jails, on the streets, in their homes, in the process of effecting arrests all over this country, all the time. And as long as we have government officials who think that it's their job to protect the system and not the people, our people will continue to die in this way. And it upsets me, because the law enforcement system and the judicial system are the right and left arms of our symbol of justice. You know that symbol of justice, that lady with the blindfold, and she has a scale in her hand. You know, she's supposed to symbolize fairness. It's supposed to symbolize fairness, but there's something wrong with her. I mean, there's something wrong with her. She's peeping out from under those, out from under her blindfold, because she judges you whether you're young or old, or black or white, or rich or poor. That's our system. That's where it's coming from. So we have to fight now. And we will be ignored and abandoned if we don't. Everything we know and everything we've been through tells us that we have to become more unified. And I love what's happening around Trayvon Martin's death. But we cannot forget that he's not the only one. Justice just can't be a symbol. We have to unite even more to provide the kind of community where we won't have to continue to ask these questions. Yeah, we need to vote. And if we vote for people who prove to us that they don't want our interests or they don't care about us, we got to get them out. And I don't care whether they're black or white, blue, green, yellow, purple. I don't care if they're your friends. If you like them and if you don't, they got to go. The reason it's important because my friend used to tell me, you know, that God has no hands but our hands, no feet but our feet, and no voice but our voice. And if we don't do it, if we don't walk it, if we don't talk it, it's not going to get walked to talk to voice. Okay, so now, that's the last thing I got to say. I'm going to sit down. Back in 1781, Thomas Jefferson wrote something about slavery and how it fits into God's plans. He said, I tremble for my country when I reflect that God is just and his justice cannot sleep forever. Come on, justice! Y'all give a real loud round of applause.